Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the 2014 NBA playoffs right now with Troy West from allplayswin.com. We just got finished discussing the overall series price, and Troy says he really likes the Spurs at -123. Right now we're going to take a look at the Game 1 lines. We are going to cover every single game in this final series with Troy. Troy, thanks for doing this with us.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pete. I appreciate it. You know, like I said earlier in the video, not the two teams I necessarily wanted, but the two favorites, the two best teams in the NBA made it. Very excited to be covering, and as I said, a strong lean and a strong pick going in this series.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what you have to say about these individual game lines. It might be a lot tougher to pick to find edges with the individual game lines than with the overall series odds. Before we get to it, give a quick plug for allplayswin.com and tell everyone how well you've been doing. You tell me you've had one of your best 30-day spans ever.
We have, Pete. I'm not going to lie to you. I've actually been shut down in a couple of the offshore books, and that is the truth. 30 days we've been outstanding. We've been on one of our best runs. Appreciate the advice you've given myself and our clients in the WNBA. We've been on a great run in baseball, Pete. I encourage people to come take a look. 24/7 customer service, allplayswin.com. One-stop shop, I think, for sports services.
Okay, sounds great. Now, you said that you like the Spurs at -123. You made a great argument for why you like that. With the individual game spreads, it might not be quite as easy to find value. The Spurs are -4, of course, at home for Game 1. Total's 198.5, and you know, last year there wasn't much of an edge to be found in terms of the spreads. You know, sometimes the home teams covered, sometimes the road teams covered. The one trend that we did see last year was that all of the Spurs home games went over, and all the Miami home games went under in regulation. And this year, you know, the Spurs, they lost their first 6 games in a row against the spread against Dallas in the playoffs. But since then, they've been 9-3 against the spread. But Miami's also been great against the spread, 10-5 against the spread overall in the playoffs. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure what I would pick here. Spurs -4 and 198.5 as a total. What do you like here, Troy?
Yeah, I do like the Spurs. Okay. As a professional bettor, my official bet is on the series. But if you're going game to game, I would go with the Spurs in Game 1. I think this is a team that's more than ready for the revenge factor. We know Tim Duncan, a guy who doesn't speak much, says that this team's ready and they will win this series. So I'm basically taking Tim Duncan and riding with them. But no, Game 1, game by game is going to be tough. I think Miami will get some games in this series, and there's really no way to determine what point they will. I think both these teams are more than capable to win on the road. So I don't necessarily feel like the home field or the home court advantage factor has a huge role in this series. I think either team can win on the road. But that being said, Game 1, I got to go with the Spurs. I think this is a team that's ready to roll. I like the revenge factor. I like the fact they're home. I think it may take a game for the Heat to get comfortable again on this floor. So I'm going to go with the Spurs in Game 1, Pete.
All right, yeah. I mean, -4, though. That's kind of a big line for a matchup like this. And look at the lines last year. Last year, the Spurs were -2, +1, and +1 in their 3 home games.
No, I agree. And -4 is a little bit higher than I'd like. I think this is a game that's going to be right around that 3 or 4 point margin. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch. But I'm going to go with the Spurs. I think if it is a 3-4 point game, foul trouble, I think the Spurs could win this game very easily by 6 to 8 points.
Well, we will take this game by game, and your pick for Game 1, Spurs -4. Thanks so much, Troy West from allplayswin.com.